Switch gears, we're being joined by the management of Castrol India, and Sandeep Sangwan is the managing director of the company, is now with us. So good morning, sir. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for taking out the time to chat with us today. Let's begin with the fact that the Q4 numbers, could we talk about how much of an impact there was of COVID on this particular result? And then moving forward for this quarter and the next, what kind of cues are you getting?
Yeah, I think thanks, Varun and Karunya, for having me on your channel. And first of all, where I'd like to start is I think that as you were discussing, country and the community is seeing an unprecedented crisis and very difficult times. And I'd like to thank all the Corona warriors who are helping us navigate through this situation. I think as far as Castrol is concerned, we've had three objectives in kind of navigating this crisis and pandemic. The first one being safety and well-being of our people. Second is supporting our communities, and the third is protecting the financial health of the business. So I think we've seen, going back to your question, we've seen an impact on the quarter results, as is evident. And I think we had the last 2 weeks of March which were impacted, and that means kind of our profit is down versus last year. But that was given the unprecedented situation. But I think as a business, we've taken all the corrective actions to protect the financial health of the business, whether it is looking at our cash, looking at our working capital management. And I think we are in a good position to respond to, we see some demand pickup now coming, and we're able to fulfill all the demand that is coming in.
Okay, great, Mr. Sangwan, and that's understandable. And also now, just looking at FY21 or 22, if you'd prefer to look at that year, as we don't know, what the impact in Q1 is going to be. What kind of volumes do you anticipate? Will it take us a while to get back to what we saw, potentially last year? And the current crude prices where they are, how is that impacting your business?
So first of all, what I like to say is, if I look at the future, the situation is still very dynamic. In April and May, towards the end of April and May, we saw good demand pickup from the agricultural sector. In June, we are seeing some pickup in the two-wheelers sector, but still it's lower than last year. And I think as we get into second half, our fundamental strategy stays the same. We are committed to our strategy of growing our share in the personal mobility sector and working with our OEM partners. We just renewed the deal with JCB, who's been a long-standing partner. We've signed up on EV side with some of the OEMs like Tata Motors and MG Motors on EV fluids. I think we have robust plans in place for second half. But again, as I said, the situation is very dynamic, and we keep looking at how the market will pick up, and we'll keep responding. I think demand recovery to come back to the pre-COVID levels, I guess, will take some time. But right now, it's very difficult to say estimates when and how, because as you see, the cases are still rising, and I think we're all responding to the situation in the best possible manner.
Right. Ms. Sangwan, hi. I just wanted to understand, you said you've started to witness some green shoots. So which are the segments that are sort of picking up according to you, and which markets, if you could give us some light on that as well?
So Karunya, as I said, I think we've seen we've seen a demand pickup towards the end of April and in May in the agricultural sector, because the government opened up agricultural sector because of the harvest season. So that was one area where we saw a pickup. The second is, I think in June, we're beginning to see movement in two-wheelers segment. I think that's picking up as well. And I think the work that we've done as Castrol over the lockdown period as part of our community effort is also helping us maintain those relationships with customers, because we engaged and did a lot of work as I said, as a community support to our mechanics, stranded truck drivers, our dealers. And I think given the scale and distribution strength of Castrol, we are able to fulfill demand in whatever sector it comes. But the agriculture and two-wheelers is the segment where we're seeing the first pickups.
What about base oil prices? Given the way they have fared, how does that impact you, if at all?
So I think base oil prices have come down over the last few months, but if you notice, the crude prices have started going up again. And I think as far as our business is concerned, it's a combination of base oil prices, additives, and forex, because rupees depreciated over a similar period. So we keep an eye out, and it helps. Lower base oil prices definitely help our business. But again, we keep looking at our pricing in the market, and I think we stay true to our pricing strategy and take actions accordingly, keeping all factors into account rather than just depending on base oil prices, because we are a premium branded business. So.
Okay, could you also give us some color on how many distributors have restarted operations? What are the conversations you're having on having with dealers or with any of your key clients, any OEMs as well? If you could give us some visibility of how things are right now.
So I think as far as distributors are concerned, I think first of all, let me go back to what we did during the lockdown period in terms of helping our communities. We stayed connected with our distributors, our dealers, our mechanics, and whatever support we could provide as a company, we've provided that support, whether it was in terms of stranded truckers, food rations, dry ration, or mechanics, we were able to touch 62,000 mechanics with a small support for them to get through. In terms of distributors, most of our distributors are operational, but again, depending on what the government advisory is and which specific areas, the timings are not still very normal. I think depending on whether they're in red zones or whichever part of the country, different timings, different operations, but we are able to fulfill demand. And I think the second bit is it business back to normal? Not as yet. I wouldn't say that, but again, we are able to operate. Sorry, I missed. You had a second question along with distributors, if you can just remind me.
No, I just wanted to understand if you've had any conversations with OEM clients as well, if just to get a sense of how things are shaping up and what kind of a trajectory should one expect.
So I think, yes, as far as OEMs are concerned, as I said, we've been able to renew our partnership with JCB, which is a long-standing partner, and their operations are back. I attended a JCB also where they're in a similar place, taking all the precautions and very clear principles in how they want to operate. We are seeing even OEM workshops opening up and manufacturing opening up. And we are able to fulfill that demand. So I think as the country goes through this pandemic, slowly and slowly, depending on government advisories, things are beginning to open up. And we are, for example, we are supporting franchise workshops with sanitation kits. We've supported independent workshops with the sanitation program, so that when they open up a business, it's safe for the workers in those workshops, and also safe for customers to go into those workshops.